Yeah, no, that'd be good. We just gotta do some.
Yeah, and I could talk about, let's see, let me go back through my trip stuff just to see, because I know I didn't really talk about my trip, so let me see. Oh, I ate at Liberty Tree Tavern. It's been a while since we talked about that, maybe.
I love that place, but I don't have the discipline. It makes my stomach hurt. Like, I just can't stop there. I just can't. It's just like, that's a good place to go, but like, I can't be spit out into a theme park. Like, that's a good place to go eat, but I just like, I need.
Well, the good thing is that we ate there. Like, it was raining that night, so
that would help. Yeah,
we ate there, and then because it continued raining, we just left. So we're like, no, never mind, we're out.
See, that'd be better for me. Like, my problem is, like, whenever I've gone there, we've like tried to trudge on for like another 5 hours after eating all that food, and I'm just like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, let's see. I ate at Garden Grill too.
I haven't eaten there in a while.
For breakfast, ate there for breakfast.
Breakfast is the best.
Yeah, it is. So I can talk a little bit about.
We did 1900 Park Fair. I could talk about that.
Nice. Okay. We could.
It was disappointing, kind of. I mean, it was okay. It was.
Dude, I thought the same thing. Okay, we can.
Right. I mean, it wasn't that like it was okay.
We can definitely talk about that. I feel like that's a good conversation thing.
It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, again, I didn't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I had a kid with me.
Like, I wasn't the demo.
I had a kid with me, and it was disappointing. So we can definitely discuss. I was highly disappointed because my kid was the right age for that, basically, and yeah.
There was also a kid at the next table that just kept hacking. Like, that didn't help. Like, no, just hacking. And I know it's somebody's fault, but it was just like,
yeah, I get that. Not good. Not good. Not good.
I know. Okay, we need listener questions, everybody. Oh, yeah. Hello, Thomas.
I guess I can see now. Yeah, there we go.
We had record numbers last night for the call-in show. It was wild. I don't know why. It was Father's Day.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah.
Super interesting. But yeah, I guess all the dads just wanted to just listen to podcasts and watch podcasts.
I guess that's what they wanted to do.
Exactly. No problem. Great calls, and yeah, I don't know why, but
that's awesome.
Worked. Okay, well, let's do a podcast. We have questions in the inbox, but
we can do a potpourri show.
But we need some fresh ones in the comments. So while we're doing the show, okay, we got enough to get us started. Okay, here we go.
Okay, perfect.
2711. Welcome to episode 2711 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having another great week. We are here to, of course, answer your listener questions as we do every midweek, and so glad you're here with us. Everybody, hope you enjoyed Matt's trip report this past Monday. I know that if you are with us over in the clubhouse, everybody's been raving about it. And I just want to one more time shout out Matt for taking the time to sit down and record with me. Everybody that records those Monday trip reports, I appreciate you guys taking the time. We record those on Wednesday nights in the evening, and it takes about an hour. And everybody who reaches out and says, "Hey, I want to talk about my trip," and takes a little time out of their Wednesday evenings to record those podcasts. We can share those stories of those, it's your trip, and we get to recount those memories, the meals, the times in the theme parks, the stays at the resorts and so forth. Matt when we were recording it, I knew this was going to be a show that everybody loved, and it came out the day after Father's Day, which I thought was great. But the Slinky Dog story, if you didn't go back and hear the show from Monday, go back and listen to it. It's the whole show's awesome, but he talks about, his daughter, and, of course, he's a great Disney dad, right? He prepared her with the old, shaking of I picture it like she's in the laundry basket, watching YouTube videos. You've all kind of seen that on YouTube. And then they get to ride Slinky Dog when they actually get there. But I mean, there's more to it. He tells the story way better than I can. So check it out. But I just want to shout out everybody who takes the time to do the trip reports, because I think it's a great way. I put them on Mondays for a reason. Mondays can be those days where it's really kind of hard to drag your carcass out of bed and to get to work, or school or whatever. You got a case of the Mondays. But I think that's a great way, hopefully, to kind of by the end of the show, hopefully it gets you in a better mindset. It's a virtual trip. Sometimes it's a cruise, sometimes it's Walt Disney World, sometimes it's Disneyland, but it gives you a little mental vacation, and maybe you'll pick up a little nugget like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten it, Garden Grill in forever, or I got to check out this new restaurant. I've never thought about that strategy to see Animal Kingdom. So, but again, thanks to everybody who does those shows. I hope you always enjoy them. So just want to shout out Matt and everybody who does the Monday trip reports. God love, and I love recording them because I love to get to just kind of drop in on all these trips on my Wednesday nights when we record those. So anyway, we're going to be talking listener questions. You have a question, you're tuned in live across our networks here, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. Drop a question. You'll be a part of the show. We appreciate you guys joining me today. Pam's out, Scott's out, but Ricky's here. We're gonna have a good time. Ricky from DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and The Mouse for Less. Ricky, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
You're stuck with me.
2008.
That's right, exactly. So yeah, no, had a great weekend. It was a chill Father's Day for Brian. So like
Best
that
kind.
part was, yeah, that's the best kind. I mean, he did have to cut the grass, which kind of stunk. But yeah, I know
it. The grass for me during our live call-in show. You might have heard her.
It rained on Saturday when he was going to do it, so he cut the grass. But I did my part. I actually went out. So he was not home last Wednesday evening. So I went out and I got when Lucy was in bed, I got the hedge trimmer and I was out there trimming the bushes. And I surprised him by having the bushes all nice and pristine and trimmed up and everything, so that he didn't have to do it, because we've been needing to do that for a long time. We have some big bushes in the backyard and stuff like that had desperately needed some attention. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I've got a little bit of time. There's still some daylight out and I'm going to take care of this. So I was able to do that for him, and a few other things too, but we definitely had just a chill Sunday, chill Father's Day. So that part was good. And I know he enjoyed it. So that's good too. And you mentioned talking about the Monday shows. We don't really get to talk about them a whole lot on any of the other podcast episodes.
And isolated from us, right? Because we record the Wednesdays and Fridays, and I do those by myself on Wednesday nights. And
exactly,
they kind of never intersect. But
no, they don't. But they're always such great stories, and I love hearing everyone's thoughts on how they choose things for their vacation, or things that I don't think of that I learn from the listeners, which yes, I still learn things. I learn things all the time from people who are in the parks, and that's the best part about it. So, or maybe they'll talk about something that I was like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So I love the when the listeners come on and listening to the Monday shows. So thanks. I know that you deal with the Monday shows, but thanks to all the listeners who come and share their stories, like you said, because it's you learn so much from everyone, and that's the whole purpose. So I love it.
And it's how the show started, because way back in the day, I used to go on message boards before social media, and I used to love reading trip reports, and they were all text. And then when you got one that had pictures,
the pictures were amazing,
because it had pictures with it. I'm like, it'd be cool is to have an audio version of a trip report. I'm
exactly.
Like, dude, that's a podcast.
Done.
Boom. And we really just started with trip reports. So there you go. It takes us back to the genesis of our show. Anyway, so let's talk listener questions. Ash Lanza over on Instagram says, and this one's for you, Rick, is good because you're the mom.
Okay.
My kids are 28 and 17. I can't get away with this anymore.
All right.
I ask, but they say, get out of here, Mike. They say, she says, can you explain how child swap works? Yes. I'm clueless. Thanks, Ashley in New Jersey. I go up with a 17-year-old. They're like, yeah, sorry, dude, get out.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you.
So how's it work?
So it's actually relatively easy. So you go to the cast member, usually at the Fast Pass location, because generally the attractions you're going to need to use child swap for is, or rider swap, I guess is what they call it now, because it sounds really bad when you call it child swap.
We're supposed to swap kids.
Yeah, it's not a great thing. So, but we kind of interchange them because it's been in my vernacular forever. So you go up to the Fast Pass area and you tell them you'd like to participate in rider swap.
Let's say lightning lane. Let's get all the terminology.
Oh yeah, lightning lane. See, I'm so old school. I'm back in Fast Pass.
We're old. I mean, 2008.
Exactly. Yeah, lightning lane. There we go. And then you tell them you want to participate in rider swap, and then what they'll do is, if you're wearing a magic band, they will scan the magic band of the person that's coming back later. And then they will, if they don't have a magic band, they'll scan their park ticket. And then the first people will go and ride the attraction. And then when they get done, in whether it's now, keep in mind, you can ride the attraction in the standby queue at that point, or if you have a lightning lane, you can use that. So you have either option. But then when you're done and you get off the ride, so you'll swap with the person who stayed with the child who is unable to ride or maybe too scared to ride. And then they'll go on the attraction and they will do it via usually the lightning lane. Lane is how they'll end up getting to go on the attraction at that point. So very simple, very easy. And the best thing is usually when we do it, sometimes I'll do it with Brian, and he'll be the one who stays back with Lucy. But sometimes I'll do it with my brother and his husband. So like they'll take Lucy and they'll go out and have like a lot of times they'll go shopping for her, which is basically when they come back and they're like, "We bought her a present," and I'm like, "Oh no, not again." But I love when they do that. It's fine. Or they'll take her to get like a snack or something like that. So that's it. Usually have enough time for kind of that, and then we'll meet back up. We'll text each other and say, "Hey, we're off the attraction," and it's we'll swap with you now. So it's really simple and really easy, and Disney makes it super a-okay to go through.
And the pro tip for this, I mean, and I remember this from back in the day with Mallory, right? When she was little, back when we used to do this, is that Paige loved rider swap, because if you have an older sibling, the younger sibling is basically a golden ticket, because Paige used to get to ride everything twice. Because during the rider swap process, the older sibling can go with both parents.
Correct.
So they can ride in with the first one and then they can hop in the second time too. So they get so she saw Mallory as like this old golden ticket. That's what we called her the whole trip. Like, Mallory was the cue ball because she was like bald and like little. And so we just have to pass her off because she couldn't ride like Space Mountain. She couldn't ride, all these cool rides. But Paige got to ride twice because she got to ride with Pam and myself. So Mallory was just a little golden ticket the whole time.
Yes. Now they will have to scan their magic band or park ticket in order to be able to get in the line again. So just keep that in mind nowadays with Lightning Lane. But yeah, I mean, they definitely get to ride twice. So that part's really cool for them.
Yeah, I remember that trip. I remember in Tomorrowland, we called it a little golden ticket because we were having a sweet cream cheese pretzel. I remember exactly the table we were sitting at. We named her that.
That's amazing.
I don't know if it's her legal middle name at this point, but it was for a little bit. All right, we have a question here from Joanne. She says, "Hey, Mike, Pam, Rikki, and Scott. We're visiting Walt Disney World in October, staying at Port Orleans Riverside, and we're in full planning mode. We're flying home from Miami on the evening of Saturday, 1st of November, and are looking for recommendations for a lovely breakfast before we leave for the drive to Miami. We won't want to get into a park, so this will need to be a resort dining, and we will have hopefully already eaten at Topolino's Terrace. Any recommendations?" Thanks so much, Joanne in the UK. She's looking for a best resort breakfast recommendation.
And she's at Port Orleans?
She's at Port Orleans Riverside.
Oh, I mean, the first thing that popped in my head was Kona. I do love Kona breakfast.
Kona's got a good breakfast.
I love the macadamia nut pineapple pancakes. Oh, they are just...
And you could just take a bus to the Magic Kingdom and monorail right over to Kona.
Correct. That's an option. I do know that a number of the Disney Springs restaurants do offer breakfast. I'm not entirely sure offhand which ones do, but
Art Smith's Homecoming has.
Yeah, I was thinking Art Smith.
Like comfort food, Southern. I mean, they're from the UK, but if you're looking for like Southern style breakfast,
that's definitely a choice.
Heavy. It's heavy. Like it would sit. I mean,
it's very heavy. Yeah.
Can UK people handle that? I think you can. But I mean, it's gonna sit with you all the way to you're gonna be until you hit the southern tip of Florida. It's gonna be with you.
This is true. If you want, I'm trying to think of things that are kind of around that resort area, and there's not a lot.
I like Olivia's, which is next door. I'm always on the Olivia's.
It's true.
They have a really good breakfast.
They do have a good breakfast.
Yeah, that's basically next door.
That is true. You could do Olivia's. And the other thing that kind of popped in my head was I Brian and I were discussing this weekend. We both really like Cape May Cafe, both for breakfast and dinner. So I think I'm going to maybe suggest that as an option. Just take a minivan, I think would be the best bet to get over to the beach club. And I think that would be a great option. And plus, it's a character meal. So that would be a lot of fun kind of to end your trip on with. It would be a character meal.
The only other one I'm going to throw in there, since you threw in Kona, which is a great choice,
yes,
in the Magic Kingdom loop, Steakhouse 71 in the Contemporary.
Ooh.
That's a good breakfast.
It is a good breakfast.
Because you could, again, just all you got to do is take that bus to the Magic Kingdom and monorail. And you got all this. Then you got Grand Flow Cafe, too, at the Grand Floridian. Because there's a lot of good options there if you want to just, because it's easy to get to all of them, right? You just got the Magic Kingdom bus and then just monorail over. But those are all three good options.
I think so. I think those are good choices.
Food. Yeah, good. All right, Natalie over on Instagram. Again, speaking of food, why you guys always come with food at dinner time? We record these shows. Natalie says, best quick service at Disneyland. All right, so we're at Disneyland to get one quick service meal right now. Where are you going? I'm trying to think where I go.
Gosh, I don't eat a lot of quick service at Disneyland. But the one that
Disneyland, right? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, that's Disneyland's pretty much quick.
Yeah, it is a lot of quick service. But ironically enough, most of the things that I've eaten there have been table service. I'm going to suggest. I just had it and it fell out of my head. Pam Test Kitchen. That was really good. I like that. I think it's unique. You know, you have the food that's big and then you have the food that's small. So I think that's a good choice. Oh, and Michelle has a good option there. Cozy Cone. Cozy Cone is really good. You get the bread and the mac and cheese or the chili. That's good. That's a good choice.
Just flows, which flows for atmosphere. I mean, it's almost like it's like just a tick down from a table service, really.
This is true.
I mean, it's kind of I'm trying to think what I would go with. Man,
I mean, of course, I love the corn dogs that are on Main Street. Dogs. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, man. I just like going back, like in New Orleans Square, just like sitting under the Tiana's Palace. Like that's kind of a good place. Even though
that is a good one.
I had like what did I have there? It was like something. What was it? It had like jambalaya because I don't normally get this. It was like a po' boy sandwich.
Oh, nice.
Po' boy sandwich with like some jambalaya on the side.
Nice.
Because the reason I liked it was because like you just grabbed it out of the mobile ordered it, grabbed it out of the window, and then you sat under that like little tent. It was like a tent set up, and then a jazz band popped out. There's like a little bitty like bandstand there. These 5 guys come out with like banjos and instruments, and they start playing jazz music. They played like a 10-minute set, but I was like, this is awesome. Like
that's so Disneyland.
I also love Harbor Galley right there on the water. You can get the clam chowder and the bread bowl, and you also can get obviously the box of chocolate chip cookies there for dessert.
Stop! You're killing me.
Right next to you can get the beignets though. Right behind there, right behind Tiana's Palace.
You're killing me.
Beignets. Oh my god, it's so good out there. Oh my gosh, Rancho del Zocalo is my favorite though. How did I forget that?
Oh yeah.
I've been eating so much Mexican. I've had it with Father's Day and everything, but I can always eat Mexican. So yeah, Rancho del Zocalo is my favorite. I gotta go. Oh my gosh, how did I forget?
You know what I really want to try and I haven't is the Jolly Holiday Bakery. I really want to try that.
I get that for breakfast a lot.
Every time I'm always like, oh, I could go for like they have tomato soup, I think, and it sounds so good. Yeah, I gotta try that sometime.
That's what I get for breakfast.
Tomato soup?
No, I get the holiday. Like they have something. Because I always have to get protein for breakfast, right? Because I run first thing in the morning, and they have some kind of like egg, not a biscuit.
I'm sure they have an egg,
something with egg
dish. Yeah,
sandwich. I always get that. I always get something sweet too. I think you get like a cinnamon roll or something with it.
Oh, of course.
All right, Michael's got a question here from the inbox. Says number 1, my wife and I have a 5-day cruise scheduled for mid-November on the Fantasy, and we're staying at Disney resorts before and after our sailing. We're staying 1 night at Wilderness Lodge before and 2 nights at French Quarter after. We've heard that reusable mugs are valid for 14 days after purchase. Can we take an old pair of reusable mugs and have them re-enabled to use for our resort bookend stays? We would definitely get our money's worth for those 3 days and would hate to have to buy new mugs. Unfortunately,
Yeah, no.
I wish they would do that because, that's one of those things like Disney. There's a lot of companies like this, right? That have these environmental statements.
Yeah.
So environmentally friendly, like that would make sense.
So here's one reason why, and I only say this because I buy reusable mugs all the time when we're down there. Matter of fact, I have a trip in July. Brian and I will absolutely buy another refillable mug. The good thing about us is we share it though, so that part's nice. But so I'll drink coffee.
There's a country song, 1 mug, 2 straws.
Actually, yeah, no, I'll drink the coffee in the morning out of the mug. He'll drink the soda in the afternoon out of the mug. I drink water usually, so in the afternoon. So like it's a nice like split. But the one thing I will say after having my mugs at my house for so long is, and I use them every day. I go to Starbucks, and Starbucks is one of those places where you can actually take a mug and they will fill it with coffee. And so they do have and it's for a discount. So that part's really nice. And I will take my Disney refillable mugs and use those I literally use them every single day. And the one thing I will say is, I'm pretty sure you're probably not supposed to, but I do it anyway. And I'm sure a lot of other people do too. I wash mine in the dishwasher, and I can tell you that because there is the RFID chip in the bottom. That RFID chip on some of my mugs has definitely expanded. And the way I know that is because the bottom of the mug is kind of not flat anymore. It kind of like tilts and rocks back and forth. So I'm going to guess I've probably destroyed my refillable mug RFID chip. So that's probably one of the reasons why they don't allow you to bring it back, is because, if there's a chance that you've put it in the dishwasher like I have, and then it won't work. So it's just a lot easier for them to say, nah. Well, and also they get extra money.
Naive, Ricky.
I know they get extra money from people bringing them back, but they could do it for a discount. I mean, I'm just saying they could do it for a discount. They just choose not to.
And they were also selling. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I mean, okay, hang on. Let me show you this.
Oh no, he's finding something on his bottom shelf.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do remember those.
Okay,
yes.
Dude, this was the deluxe refillable mug.
This was, and it's a tin mug.
It's like a metal mug.
Metal mug, yes.
And tell me you couldn't reuse this thing? You could reuse.
No, you could definitely reuse that one. I'm sure, but I don't know. Does that have an RFID chip in the? I guess it did, didn't it? Yeah.
It did. I mean, I'm sure it did, because you had to scan it. Like you had to, sit there, and it told me how many refills I had left.
Yeah. Okay.
Plug ever, by the way.
Hey, look, I'm trying to be positive here. I know the real reason.
You're being a homer on that one.
I know the real reason is money. Let's just be perfectly honest. But let me live in my world of delusion.
I love Disney. Don't get me right, but and the thing is, like, I mean, there's so many companies that do that, right? Like Apple's got, and they do a lot of things. So does Disney, right? They do a lot of things great for the environment. I give them kudos that they try to do a lot of things, but like. That one bugs me. Like there has to be a way that you can bring your mug back and pay half price. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there should be.
It's so cheap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, let me bring, you can't, and say like, okay, it has to be from like the last couple of years. Like you can't bring one back from like, I don't know, like Dixie Landings or something.
It's got to be the same design. I feel like it has to be the same design unless like they've recently updated the design within the last few years. Yeah. But they haven't had the same mug for a while right now. So.
I mean, I don't know if you're following social media, but like there's been these movements of like, I saw a minor league baseball game here in town a couple of nights ago that it was like anything but a popcorn bucket. And so you could bring anything to the game and fill it up with popcorn for like $5. But it couldn't be a popcorn bucket. So people brought in like mailboxes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, dude. It was, I mean, like big things, like,
oh yeah, of course.
Their helmets from work. Like work construction helmets.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd want to eat out of my work construction helmet.
People did. It's Missouri, man. It was wild. But anyway, he's got a second question. So yeah, but they could do it, for half.
They could. They just don't.
Because it's a sticker. Just stick that thing on there. Just boom, problem solved. Come on, Disney, we could do this. Number 2, we have cruise fever, and it booked another cruise this time for the family on the new Disney Destiny in June of 2026. But the Destiny sails out of Fort Lauderdale. Are there any good neighbor hotels that have some sort of arrangement with Disney Cruise Lines? If so, will they take your luggage as if staying at a Disney resort? Thanks for all you do for your trip planning and for the entire Disney community. Thanks, Michael in Annapolis, Maryland. There are, I think, a couple of hotels down there in Fort Lauderdale. I haven't sailed out of Lauderdale yet.
I haven't either.
They do transfers from a couple of hotels down in Lauderdale, but I don't know them offhand.
I have no idea.
But they do have a couple. I will say we got news on the Disney Destiny though today, I saw. I want to ask you about this. Okay, so first of all, we got news today on the Disney Destiny that this is about the Kids Club, so it's not going to affect everybody. But the Kids Club, when you slide into because these new cruise ships have like a slide to get in, which like the Wish, the Treasure, now the Destiny. You don't just like walk in, like the kids get to just go into a slide.
Yep.
How cool is that? Like everybody should slide into their, I don't know, kitchen, or I wish I could slide into the podcast studio. That'd be
amazing.
10% better. But you slide, and I've done this now on all the ships, because if you do it, you can do it during the open house. Slide in, but it's going to have Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope, like full size statues, like and all that in the Destiny as you slide in. So that's pretty cool. But somebody was talking, and I kind of like started to agree with them that the Destiny is going to have do you agree like it's a mismatch? It's like a mismatch of kind of a whole lot of stuff. Now that we have Wreck-It Ralph like greeting you in the Kids Club, you have like a Lion King experience in the dining room, you have like Marvel, you have Hercules show. Like,
yes. No, I agree.
That's going to be awesome. Like the Destiny will be awesome, but this one doesn't have like one really cohesive theme. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff, but it's going to be a lot. They
try to claim that the cohesive theme is like adventurous stories, that kind of thing. I think that's what they're going with. So if you go with the Lion King, you've got adventurous stories there. If you go with Marvel, you've got adventurous stories there. I guess Wreck-It Ralph is kind of adventurous in that story, that kind of thing. So I mean, I guess if you look at it
Wreck-It Ralph
that way, like, he goes on an adventure. I mean, so I don't know. I'm still not in love with the Disney Destiny and everything related to it. I think it's my least favorite of the 3 new ships that they've built.
I think that too, but I mean, I want to sail it because I want to get firsthand, because like I
obviously,
fell in love with the Treasure when I jumped on it, and I didn't know what to expect on.
I haven't been on the Treasure yet, and I already know that I'm gonna really like the Treasure, just based off of everything that I hear. But I do feel like the newer ships do have more of a mismatch than obviously the classic ships. And I can't put my finger on why, but they do feel a little mismatchy in general. Like they have one area that relates to this, and then another area that relates to this. But I guess if you look at the overall arching theme, it kind of fits. I don't know. I'm still not sold on the Adventure, or not the Adventure. The Adventure Boy is the one I am sold on. That's the one coming out of.
The Adventure's going to be obnoxious. Like
that's the one coming out of Singapore, and I would absolutely adore an opportunity to get on that ship. I don't think I'll ever get on that ship, but that ship sounds just next level bonkers.
Here's what I think about the cruise ships too: is they come out like, and they just got like keel numbers for like the next ships over in wherever Europe, wherever they build them. I saw posted, but. The thing is if they build more of these cruise ships, they're going to have to become more niche, right? I mean, because like, they were super general at the beginning with like the Wonder and the Magic, because they had, nothing else. But like, as you make more ships, it's going to be harder to make them, you're going to have to make, because it's like already been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be harder to find really unique ways to make each ship, new.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, you gotta go more.
Like, you're just trying to like, okay, we're Kids Club. What have we done? Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, exactly.
What have we done in this dining room? Lion King, or or we haven't done Hercules show, so let's throw it. But I mean,
one of these
it could be a great combination.
I can guarantee you, one of the new ships will have an Encanto show. I can guarantee that's what one of them will have. I'm calling it now.
Well, it sounds like it would be a great
restaurant.
Like instead of like Coco restaurant, like
an
Encanto restaurant.
Exactly, that's what I mean. An Encanto dining show. Yes, I'm calling it now. But it is funny because I did say that the Destiny is more about adventure, and they have the Disney Adventure, and they didn't name that ship the Disney Adventure.
I think that's a different market. I think still like that's going to be something that
I'm just saying name wise,
North America doesn't even acknowledge too much.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying name wise, they should have flip flopped them. The Disney Destiny should have been the Disney Adventure, and the Disney Adventure should have been named the Disney Destiny. Is what I'm saying. I feel like they should have done that, but nah, oh well.
It is interesting though, because I wonder, maybe not though. Maybe they do. I'm just wondering how much, or if at all, Disney Cruise Line like does try to sell the adventure to the North American market and the European market. Like,
Oh,
I think it'll be more European market will get sold.
I agree.
Marketed to the adventure, but I wonder, North America, do we see commercials for the adventure? Do they try to push this? I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I doubt it. I think you have to be a Disney fan to know that the adventure even exists, or you have to be in an Asian market or even the European market. I feel like, yeah, I don't feel like they'll be promoting much. Matter of fact, actually, I just saw on Instagram they had a whole looked like a whole like vlogger experience, and it was basically focused on the Asian market. So because I follow their Instagram account for actually the I think it's the Asian version of Disney Cruise Line. So they definitely are promoting it on the Asian side of things. So cool. Yeah, it's an interesting follow for sure. I enjoy seeing the content about the adventure from that point of view. So that's really an interesting thing.
Awesome. And Michael, you're gonna have a great cruise. And Michelle in the over on YouTube says she just sailed out of Fort Lauderdale. Super easy, third party company takes care of your baggage.
Nice.
Piece of cakes. You're gonna have a good time. All right, Cindy's got a question. Hey, BOGP team, I have a two-part question. I have two trips planned for early next year. In February, I'm doing a solo trip as I'm traveling with my gymnastics team for competition. My question for this trip: what are the best solo restaurants on property? In March, my husband, daughter, and I are doing a trip and staying at Coronado Springs. My question for this trip: which is the best restaurant at Coronado Springs for my family's first night at Coronado? Thanks so much for everything. I love listening and learning from the entire BOGP community. I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Cindy V in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. She's Cindy Lou 75 in the clubhouse.
Nice.
There every day.
Well, Mike has the answer for Coronado, so there you go.
Coronado, I have two. Let me go to the second question, because Coronado is the official resort of the BOGP clubhouse. We think about it all the time. So two things. I do like Maya Grill if you like Mexican food. I mean, that's kind of like my top three restaurants all over property. But here's the thing. If you're getting in late, and I've done this a couple of times late, Rick's Sports Bar is like clutch. So say you're getting in like at 5 o'clock or after, and you're not sure if you're going to have you don't want to make an ADR. I've just rolled up into that place, and they have a wide, everybody in the family. And I go here solo all the time. Like over marathon weekend, I stay there, and I'll eat there 2 or 3 times during my trip. When I'm solo, I just go up to the bar and just get a seat, and they have an awesome steak sandwich with waffle fries. Oh my God, it's so good. But then they have nachos that you can get as a dinner. I've seen people get that. I mean, they have just a great menu. It's easy to get in and out of. They always have sports playing. It's just a great atmosphere, and it's right there in the hotel. Rick's is underrated because it's easy to get in, and the food is super good. So I like Rick's, but also, I mean, for your family meal, I do love Maya Grill. But people rave about Three Bridges, and I've never been to Toledo, but people go there, like it. So that's a good choice.
There's a lot of great choices at Coronado for sure.
Good place
There's
to go.
So many options. So
well, what would you say for solo dining? Because I've done solo dining, but I don't know if one place is better than what makes a restaurant good for solo dining.
I guess I'm a little bit different. Because I could have told you that, but yeah, I honestly don't have a problem dining anywhere at Walt Disney World solo. I will go to a fancier restaurant. I will go to quick service. I will go anywhere and enjoy a nice meal. So, there are places that are traditionally solo traveler friendly. So you've got places like Tapanito where you sit with other people if that's what you're into by yourself.
You always sit with me lately. Did you hear the story about how again a Japanese lady and her daughter sat with me for breakfast the other day at Galaxy's Edge?
No.
Yes, it happened again. I loved it. It was so cool. They asked to make a share table. I'm like, absolutely. Let's have a run.
Come on over. Yeah.
It's like I'm a magnet for international travelers.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Another place that people, well, I don't think you can do anymore because I think they took the chairs off, but used to go to 50s prime time was another one. But honestly, I'll go anywhere. If and what I
Sci-fi
like to
would be a good solo place because
which one?
it's sci-fi.
Oh,
Because
sci-fi, yeah.
like if you're worried about people judging you for eating by yourself, one thing, it's dark in there. Nobody's going to
True.
notice. Everybody's watching the trailers up top, and like there's entertainment. So like I think sci-fi would be a perfect like table service sit down solo place.
This is true, yes. But what I like to do is I won't even make a dining reservation ahead of time. I'll just look in the app, see
I
what's
agree.
available either the day of or have the, walk up, dine now option, and I'll just see what's available then and be like, boom, let's go. So a lot of times I won't even make a dining reservation until that morning or while I'm walking around the park going, what am I hungry for? What's on the app right now? So that's usually how I'll handle it. Beaches and Cream is another really good one though for single diners, because they have the counter there. So
yeah, it has a counter. Like that would be
yeah.
I love places with counters. Like I'm a counter person. I don't know like if you are, but like so do you know Gingham's here in St. Charles?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I never ate there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a diner here in town where I live, and they have a counter, right? But some people don't like I love eating. If there's a counter anywhere, I'm all in. Like Pam isn't. She likes to get a table, but she let me get a counter the other night because it's packed because the night before Father's Day. If there's a counter, I just because you get to see all the action. Like, and if you're solo, it's a great place. Like you can sit there and talk to and I like talking to strangers, so it's all good. Like I agree. Let's sit at the counter. So what places have counters? I'm trying to think.
I know 50s or not 50s. I know that beaches and
sure. Back in the day, I used to always get my meals at Tune In. Like I get my meals.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they took out the chairs though there. Yeah, I think they took them out. So yeah, that's not an option.
Yeah.
I don't think there are very many counter
lounges. You can get a lot of times meals at lounges.
Lounges for sure are another great option, and that's a great option for single diners for sure. But yeah, I really don't have a problem eating anywhere. I really don't. I'll go anywhere that has availability and I'm in the mood for it. I'll go character meal. I'll do that by myself. I'll do anything. So yeah, it's not a problem for me.
Let's get to one last question. It is from Margaret. She says, "Hey, Mike and team at the Be Our Guest podcast. I saw something recently that prompted me to have a question. And I think you have the most knowledgeable and experienced team. So I thought I would ask you guys." Well,
are we knowledgeable and experienced?
Half of us are here and the two smarter ones, who knows? All right. So I recently saw in a group that someone said they have an issue with the noises of the air conditioning unit at Caribbean Beach Resort. They said that Disney offered to move them to a resort with a central air like Art of Animation. Okay, I have a take on this, but let's.
Okay, all right.
I know that some people may prefer central air over the wall or window units in the room for various reasons, which might include noise, or in my case, allergy or asthma type issues when the outside air is pulled into the room. I always assumed that the deluxe resorts and Grand Destino Tower had the central air units and that all of the moderate in values have the wall or window type units, but this comment has led me to believe that at least Art of Animation also has central air units. So my question is, which Disney resorts have the central air units instead of the wall or window units? A Google search led me to something that says that Disney has central air in all of their hotels, but I know this is not true because I have in fact stayed at All-Star Sports in Caribbean Beach and they have wall units. I apologize if your team has previously answered this question. If this is the case, would you please be so kind to let me know which episode I should listen to get this information? Thanks so much, Margaret. Okay, so I think so. What she's asking is, so like, I was at, where did I stay? I stayed at the Contemporary, right?
Right.
And it's obviously central. That's just the regular air that it didn't have. The old, I call it the old school, like air conditioning and heating unit.
Yeah.
Now, my hot take is, I love those old ones because they do make more noise and it puts me out like a baby. And also they make the room colder. Like,
true.
I don't know. It's like, maybe it's because back in the day, there weren't so many EPA like limitations on things, it's like your car could run hotter back in the day before all the, rules and regulations, back in the 70s and 80s, your car, because you didn't have as much limits on it. You could, go 100, 200 miles an hour down the highway. I think that back in the day when they installed those units into Caribbean Beach, those suckers could, they could freeze your room out like a meat locker.
Right.
Now with the new central units, they're not going to get your room as cool. And I love the noise. Like that's me because it's like white noise. So hot take, I like when I get one of those rooms of the old ones, I'm like, let's go. But I know it's not for everybody because it's super old.
Yes.
But I don't know which rooms have what. But I know Caribbean Beach is one of those that does have them.
Yeah. I'm going to say for the most part, she's probably right that it's probably the majority of the moderate and the majority of the value resorts have that kind of air conditioner, the old school kind of air conditioner, because they were built a long time ago. And so I feel like the newer resorts, so that's why Art of Animation is probably not that way, because it was built.
Here's the thing I think you have to think about is exterior versus interior doors.
Also, there's that.
You have to pull from the outside, the air take. And so deluxes are going to have, they're going to mostly be interior like hallways. So they're going to have central air. So it'd be values and moderates all have exterior.
Correct. And the reason why Art of Animation may not is because they do have rooms that are not outdoor. They have that, have outdoor corridors. They have rooms that have indoor corridors. So the only rooms that have outdoor corridors, I believe, are the Little Mermaid ones, right? So that would probably have the old kind of air conditioning. But the other rooms are indoor corridors, so they have the other kind. So yeah, and that's why like the tower at Coronado would have the new kind of AC, because it's an indoor corridor type space. So yeah, I think you're right. If it's an indoor corridor, I think it's going to have the newer kind of air conditioning unit. If it's outdoor, then it probably has the old school one.
So here's what we're going to do. For Margaret, we're going to kind of crowdsource this over at the Fieldhouse this week. So let us know, like for sure, what hotels have what kind of HVAC units. I'm pretty sure Caribbean Beach, most of the rooms are going to have the old school ones. I'm trying to think like
that's the one I'm actually confused about as Pop Century. I'm curious about that one.
But I think it does have an old like school one, like right there by the window.
Because I feel like they've updated it
right under that window as you come in. Yeah, I love those things.
I feel like they've updated that window,
which is great.
I feel like it's got the one on the wall at Pop Century. So
I'm second guessing myself, but we'll kind of crowdsource it and come back to it next Wednesday if we can, and like list like who's got what. But I think it is determined by the corridors, like the deluxes and the moderates. Like the towers are going to have kind of what we call central air.
Yeah, central air.
But I prefer the old ones, and they get colder, and they make that white noise. I love that white noise, but that's just me. And like Michelle says, nothing better than coming back to a freezing room after a sweaty, and nothing hits like that afternoon nap. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, not even at night. Like you come back at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Here's the thing though. Oh my gosh. So you're coming back for that afternoon nap. You're all hot and sweaty. You rope dropped and like you just had a lunch or something. You're like, I just want to get a good like 1 hour nap. That's what I need for a recharge. And you come around the corner and you see the housekeeping cart and you're like, then you got to make that call. You're like, oh, is that outside my door or is that outside the door next door? You're just like, please God, don't let that be outside my door. Because I just want to get on that bed, close the drapes and take a nap. And then you're just like, please don't be in my room. Like, it can be messy. I just want to get in there and get it cold and dark and take a nap.
There you go.
So many times I prayed walking down there, like, please don't be in my room right now. I don't need my room cleaned. Anyway, so we'll do that. So in the clubhouse, jump over, let us know like the kind of hotel you stayed in lately. Does it have the central or the old school air? We'll kind of try to cover all the hotels.
Yeah, because now I'm curious, because if they get updated, like if it, when they get a room renovation, are they changing it over? That's the other question I want to know. If they're changing, because I've heard
maybe they can't because of the room build. They have to put those individual units into the values and moderates. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Great question. I mean,
it is a great question and one we have never had, by the way. So
this is it. This is the OG after almost 2,800 shows. All right, so we're going to jump out of here. We'll be back on Friday. We're going to talk about some of the new stuff that's happening down at Walt Disney World. Rick's going to talk about the H2O Glow Nights. We're going to talk about Test Track reopening on July 22nd. I have a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about 1900 Park Fair. Got to eat there when I was down a couple of weeks ago. Just some stuff that you want to check out here on your next trip. So we'll talk about that on Friday. Don't forget, today's show always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Don't forget, the Magic for Less is a platinum earmarked agency. When you want to work with a travel agency, you want to work with the best. And the best is the Magic for Less Travel. Platinum earmarked, which means we book tons of Disney trips. I will tell you. I mean, just so many trips, and we get great reviews from our guests. So you want to make sure you're always booking with the best, and that is the Magic for Less. Always no cost to you. We're a fee-free agency, so check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you again to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. $5 a month is all it costs to support the show, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. We're on the social media. Ricky and I here. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS, X.com, Instagram, and Threads. Let's see. We'll have a live show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. We'll take that call and talk Disney with you. And join us in the clubhouse. It's free for everybody, and we have so much fun. We'll be checking for you over there at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right. We're going to be back on Friday, having some fun. Hopefully you will too, but hopefully you have a great midweek. Thanks for checking in. So for Ricky, I'm Mike saying have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. An AC question. I feel like the Huffman brothers here in St. Louis, the AC guys. Or remember the Lennox commercials? You probably don't remember those. They're always on during the Cardinals games. They had like overalls on. You don't remember the Lennox commercials they always showed during the Cardinals games?
No.
It was like a dude with a mustache, and he always had on the overalls. Man, you didn't pay attention. Lennox.
Sorry.
They sold air conditioners. They were always on during Cardinals games. They're called the Lennox Bros.
Oh, maybe I do remember them.
Yeah. Like he had a mustache, and like they had on overalls. Or Lennox and Sons, I think is what it was.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. It was a dude, he looked like a chimney sweep or something. I'm going to drink one of my good ones. It says dude. I only drink the ones that say dude during podcasts. That's one of my rules. Dude.
Such a weirdo.
I got rules. Dude. Oh, I get to use my Taco Bell gift card tonight. Rock on.
Nice. That's good.
Dinner's on my in-laws.
That part's nice.
And I get to have chocolate peanut butter pie tonight.
Oh, the part's yummy.
Pam says it's low fat because it's made with low fat sour cream. Like or cream cheese or something. I don't know what's
That's nice.
Yeah, it's like a Weight Watchers thing, but it's got a lot of peanut butter in it. So I don't know how it can be Weight Watchers.
Well, but peanut butter is
peanut butter's high calorie, but there's not a ton of
it's not necessarily about calorie, it's about fat content. I don't know.
It's so good. I mean, it's better than eating like a Blizzard.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I have done 25 miles today, so I'm good.
Lord, that's a lot. So much.
Let's see.
So much.
Billy Bean. Billy Bean just joined us on Instagram. He'll be on the cruise with us.
Nice.
3 weeks we'll be in Nassau, the Bahamas. I'll be on the ship, getting ready to go. Where are we eating tonight? We're eating at Lumiere's tonight.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that part's good. I haven't eaten there in a long time.
Lumiere, Be Our Guest, themed to the Be Our Guest podcast. I will be dancing down the aisle, serving your souffle. What's up, Billy? I'll serve this souffle in the gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe me? As delicious. Let's do a podcast.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, I don't know what we're talking about. We'll talk about something. 2
we got this.
1 3. Welcome to episode 2713 or 13 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a rockin' weekend. We are here on the show, of course, not Father's Day this weekend, not Mother's Day this weekend, just kind of hanging out this weekend. It's nice. Don't have to really exchange gifts or anything like that. So just got to mow the grass. And, a couple of weeks we get to go on the podcast cruise. So there's that. So a lot of stuff behind the scenes to get ready for that. We're going to have a good time. But to kick the weekend off, we're going to be talking about just some of the fun stuff we got to do down at Walt Disney World over the past few weeks. Rikki was there. I was there. And a few things we haven't got to talk about that we want to share to get you excited for your next trip. Also, we got some new happenings, some comings, some goings at Walt Disney World to get you excited. So joining me today for this fun show, let's kick off the weekend right now here on a Friday morning or Thursday night. If you're Andrew, yeah, we still love you, Andrew. We know you're listening. Rikki's here from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the Mouse for Less. Happy Friday, Rikki. What's up?
Happy Friday, and I have a fun podcast visitor coming this weekend. So our good friend Florence will be in town, and she's here to see Lucy this weekend. So I'm excited. I have no idea what kind of shenanigans we get into. Usually it involves Florence stopping at the grocery store, buying a bunch of food, and us cooking it together, and mostly by us cooking it together. I mean, she cooks it, so but she's an amazing friend who likes to do that when she comes to town. So, we have a really good time though together, and she just wants to hang out and see Lucy, which is amazing. So I love having that extra grandma in my life, and I'm sure Lucy loves it.
Wait a second here. Now, Florence comes and she babysits Lucy.
Yes.
She cooks for you. How does this work? I mean, this is not right. I mean, Florence,
she's like an extra grandma. She's like an extra grandma. So yeah, we even call her Grandma Florence. So, that's how this works. So
I remember the first time I met Florence in person was at Splitsville. God, I bet you that was 15 years ago at a podcast meetup. And we're getting ready to do another meetup at Splitsville on July 5th before we all leave for the cruise. So check the details in the clubhouse for that. But yeah, man, we've had so many great events and meetups and stuff over the years, but that was when I remember meeting Florence. We all bowled, like Messiah was there from Japan. Yeah, man, just Paige had a broken arm that time. I remember way back in the day.
Nice.
Soccer.
Not very nice, but I do remember that. Yeah.
She had the big, like bright yellow cast on her arm. She still bowled and beat most people. She's pretty she's pretty mean. Well, shout out to Florence down in Georgia. She's living her best life. I don't think she ever goes home. She just travels.
She doesn't. No, she pretty much, she travels the world, which is the most amazing thing, and good for her. So now that she's retired, you can do that kind of stuff. So she's having a blast. So I know she went to Australia and New Zealand. She actually sent to us a lovely a koala stuffed animal and a koala purse for Lucy and a shirt that has koalas on it. So that's from Australia, which is really neat too. So yeah, it's really cool that she's traveling the world. So good for her.
All right, so we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we've been doing at Walt Disney World that we just want to share that maybe it'll help you plan a better trip. But let's talk about some of the news that was in the week, or some of the Disney news that was in the news earlier this week. First of all, we got a date for Test Track reopening, which is July 22nd.
The day before my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
There you go. And DVC and AP previews are going to be announced here shortly. So get a jump on that if you're one of those folks. So I know a lot of our listeners are. So stay tuned for that. But they also dropped a couple of videos kind of showing what it's going to look like. We saw some trees. We saw lots of LED lights from the Imagineers kind of walking through the lights. Kind of, I got to say this, kind of looked like Osborne lights. Like they could do something at Christmas. I know they're not going to because they always say they will and they won't, but man, they could do something at Christmas. But anyway, so what did you think of the social media kind of little blitz that they did earlier this week with preview. I mean, are you excited for Test Track 3.0? Because they're actually calling it 3.0.
Yeah. So first of all, let's just be perfectly honest. It's about time that they've announced a date for it to reopen. Took them forever. So I'm glad, because they kept saying late summer, and as summer continues to go on,
I mean, it could have been September. I mean,
for
Disney, honest to God, like July is not too bad for summer.
But with it testing the way, because if you follow the social media, like with it testing, and we've heard that's been testing by a number of people, you had to know that it was getting close at that point. So I'm so glad that they finally announced that it's opening. It does open on the 22nd, which is exciting because, like I said, that is the day before my birthday. We are going down for my birthday, and I will be there. It's funny because we talked about my birthday's on a Wednesday this year, so it's in the middle of the week. So Brian and I talked about, do you want to go the week before your birthday? Do you want to go the week after your birthday? And thank goodness I picked the week after, because I'm gonna get on Test Track. Hopefully, I'm gonna share something that I think is a hot take. I suspect that this will have virtual queue. You're hearing it from me right now. Nobody else has said this that I know of. So I suspect this will definitely have virtual queue when it reopens, which makes me very sad because I hate virtual queue. But I've already made my park reservations.
And I hear, you know what? I don't, because you know why? Because they lit up the 3 signs today. As I was watching the pictures, like they have the single rider sign lit up.
You don't think they're going to have virtual queue?
I don't think this will have virtual queue.
Because
they showed a picture today with all 3 of the signs lit up for the lightning lane, for the standby, and for the single rider, all lit up.
We'll see. I don't know. Doesn't mean that they're not doing virtual queue. So I'm just saying.
I just don't think I don't think that this attraction is deemed big enough. We'll see. We'll see.
But look, Tiana's Bayou Adventure had it for a while. So
I think we're past it. I feel
like every time they have a new attraction at this point, though.
But I think that was. Yeah, but I think that they don't want to do that again. That's
I'm hoping they don't. Let's be perfectly honest.
You don't do it. Like Disney don't do it.
I really don't want them to do it because, like I said, I'm going to be there 2 days after it opens, and I really don't want to have to get up at 7:00 in the morning. Well, before 7:00 in the morning, so I can hopefully get a virtual queue spot. Let me just go ride it. Let me stand in the standby line, which is what I'm in the standby line, or probably single rider line, which is probably what's going to happen. And let me just ride the stupid thing. So I'm really hoping they don't do virtual queue on this, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I'm so excited. So I'll get to see that, and I'll get to see the new parade right after they open it. So debut it. So I'm very excited about both of those. And so a couple of things about the Test Track reimagining that I've kind of shared. So this new version it really does fit for Epcot. It's going to showcase automotive technology is one thing they've said. So that kind of fits obviously with Epcot and the enjoyment of technology.
It really talks a lot about LiDAR, which is what the new cars have, for to be aware of their environments,
exactly,
for self-driving and stuff like that. Even
and
not even full self-driving, but just to. So because my dad got a new used car the other day. He has not had a new car in forever. And this is a new used, it was a Ford Escape or something, but it has that kind of, what do you call it? Where it stays a certain distance from the car in front of it, like cruise control.
Yes.
He thinks it's the coolest thing ever. Dude, we talked for 30 minutes. I'm I have an old Jeep, so mine doesn't have anything. But it's a stick shift. So it's amazing that it has cruise control being a stick shift. So I like it, but it doesn't even have a screen on it. It's just got a regular radio. But he's telling me about this, and he's like, dude, it'll stay a certain distance from. I'm like, dude, I hear about this on podcasts all the time because I listen to tech podcasts and they always talk about Teslas and all these things. I'm like, yeah, that's been going on for a few years. Dude, it's the most amazing thing. It'll stay X amount of feet from and it'll adjust. I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of cars do that nowadays.
Yeah, they do.
They're talking about in Test Track. I was talking about LiDAR, and so at least I hope it stays. At least it's cutting edge for now.
It should be. I mean, being in the automotive industry myself, like I'm very well aware of like all the technology that happens in cars right now. So yeah, it's really cool. There's technology even that allows you to, kind of see like a bird's eye view, and you can see
Yeah, I was
everything
wondering how
around
that
you
works.
while you're
Who's taking
parking.
that? Yeah, I've seen that on cars. Like,
Yeah,
who's taking that picture? Like,
I don't
where's
ask.
the
I don't want to
camera?
know.
I've seen that, and I'm like, dude, where is the? I've seen that. I'm like, dude, where's the camera? If there's no
Yes.
camera up there, exactly.
So I'm sure that will be part of it. But then the other part of the new Test Track 3.0 is that it's actually going to celebrate like spending time with friends and family, embracing the world around you. So I'm really curious how they're going to meld those two together. But honestly, like that sounds exactly like the kind of attraction that Epcot should have, an attraction that focuses.
That's the World of Motion callback, I think.
Exactly. It focuses on technology and, how cars can help you enjoy the world around you. And I'm so excited to see that happen. And I'm very excited about this version of Test Track. I really hated the last version of Test Track. I did not ride it very often. I thought it was boring. I thought it was dated as soon as it got put in. It was a terrible version of. I love the original version of Test Track, which sounds so messed up because that was all about the test dummies and crashing and everything like that. So the fact that
it made sense. The first one was like
it did.
It was Test Track. Like it was a test.
It was all about test dummies, testing vehicles.
It was great. I mean, looking back, it was in the second one, like it came out when that like reimagined Tron movie came out.
Yes,
or whatever,
and it was did not.
Tell they tried to meet that aesthetic, and
absolutely
right. It was the only thing exciting about it was going around the big loop.
Absolutely. That was it. I really hated that version of Test Track, and I'm so glad that they redid it. So I think, and for me, anything is better than that version of Test Track. So hallelujah. But yeah, they're doing previews. Like you said, previews will be for, let's see, cast members. I think they may have already announced cast member previews. Annual pass holders, DVC members, Golden Oak residents, and Club 33 members. So yeah, I mean, those will probably happen in early July if I had to take a guess. So, if you're going in early July and you're one of those kind of people, you might get to experience the new Test Track. So that's exciting.
Awesome.
It's very
and
exciting.
We also found out that the Boneyard, which we thought was closed, Scott and I, we said, oh, the Boneyard's gone. Then people were like, no, it's still there. But guess what? The days are limited. It is still there, but only until September 1st.
Yes. So the Boneyard, for those who don't know or haven't visited because you don't have little kids, it is a kids play area at Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's in the Dinoland USA area, and it was a great little area.
Great playground. It is. Mallory loved that sucker.
Yeah, we let Lucy play in there, and she had fun, and it was a lot of fun for us, and we got to let her run around and get some steam off and everything like that. So but unfortunately it does have to close to make way for Tropical Americas, which is being built in this section of the park, and construction is ramping up very rapidly right now. So unfortunately it was time for it to go. So the good news is that Disney has shared that they will be adding in the Tropical Americas section of the park, a new kids play area. So that part is really nice to know that they're actually going to continue having a play area for kids. I hope it's as cool. I hope that it includes some of the really great kind of activities that this area had. And it's just, more modern, which I don't know how much more modern you can get with the play area, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. So
the playground was cool because it was big. Like your kids could get high. Like, you had to keep an eye on. I mean, there was only one way in and out. So
which is good.
You could lose your kid in the playground. Like, I mean,
yes.
If I was a kid, that'd have been. That was just a good playground.
Which is why, mommy or daddy of Lucy goes into the playground with her and follows her wherever she goes.
I just always said, meet me because there was a Jeep in there. I always told Mallory, like, just meet me back at the Jeep.
That's I mean, yeah, when Lucy gets to that age, then I will. But at 2, I'm not letting her go around without mom or dad. So
that was fun. Yeah. So is there any other big news that we need to get to before we kind of talk about some of the stuff that we've been doing lately?
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we mentioned the Disney Starlight, obviously. The nighttime parade debuts July 20th, which is So
I don't say the 6th. That's when our podcast cruise is.
That's when it's the 20th. So that's why I said I'll get to experience both, and you'll want to follow along with me on social media because I will absolutely be sharing those things when during my trip, because I am staying for my birthday. Brian and I actually are going to stay at Saratoga Springs, which I have been told I've stayed at before. I forgot that I stayed at the regular version of Saratoga Springs. We have stayed at the tree houses, which is, you know, a very cool section of Saratoga Springs. And that was a whole other, when we've talked about the treehouse meetup, but I've definitely stayed there, and that's really cool. But apparently I have stayed with Florence at Saratoga Springs, but Brian will be there for a couple nights, and we're going to do the Blizzard Beach. You know, that's how we can go into the water park for the first day of our vacation. And so we're actually going to go to Blizzard Beach so that we can experience that, because I haven't been to Blizzard Beach in probably 15 years. So I'm excited to get to do that. So that part's cool too. So I guess speaking of water parks, you want to dive into
Yeah, go ahead. So you did the H2O Glow Nights, which
Yes.
are back, which are those hard ticket evening events over at Typhoon Lagoon, which is the superior of the two water parks.
Well, I will definitely be able to say which one is superior in a couple of
It's more chill. I'm more chill.
It is certainly more chill.
More tropical feel. I like the more tropical feel.
I have to admit, it is certainly more chill. It is very relaxing. I very much enjoyed my time at Typhoon Lagoon. So yeah, they have the H2O Glow after hours. They have them until September this year, and they don't have a lot of dates, but they do have, you know, quite a few still left. And pretty much the whole point of it is it's a fun kind of after party after the park closes for the day. So they bring out Toy Story characters. So the whole theme is themed around Toy Story. They bring out Partysaurus Rex, which is from one of the shorts. So he's there in the front, welcoming you to the party. They have dance parties with a great DJ. They play some great music, and they usually have Jesse and Buzz there dancing along with the guests. Now, unfortunately, they're not actually in with the guests mixed in. I was so sad about that. I was like, cool, I can dance with Buzz, but no, not like he's up on the stage. But they have some.
I mean, seriously, Space Galactic Heroes don't like getting too close.
No, they don't like getting Sandy. So, but they do have some dancers that are, you know, cast members that are out on the actual like sand part of the dance floor. So they're getting
dancing on the. That's what I was wanting to know. Like, you dance on the sand. Like, how does this all work? The logistics.
Yeah, you're dancing in the middle of the beach. Yeah,
like teen beach movie stuff.
It's kind of yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like teen beach movies, yeah. So you're dancing in the middle of the beach. They have a meet and greet with Bullseye and Woody, which was really cool to experience as well. I don't think I've ever seen Bullseye out, so that was really neat.
Rocks.
Yeah, Bullseye does rock. And the great part is that there are very minimal lines because it is an after party event, and so you do have to pay extra for it. And so, you know, not a lot of people are attending it because of the fact that, well, I mean, you know, like it's not as populated as the normal day, because, you know, obviously now with the normal day, they have guests coming in who are like me going to be and coming in for free. So, you know, that part's nice is that the wait times for the attractions are very minimal. I think the most we waited was for Crush and Gusher, and that was maybe 20 minutes near the end of the night. So that part was cool. I got to do Misadventure Falls, which I hadn't done yet, which is a really great and fun water attraction that is just a blast. Oh my gosh. It was really cool to do the water slides in the dark, though. I have to admit, like,
that'd be awesome because I love night swimming, but seriously, yeah, a water park at night would be like the next level. That'd be.
It was so cool to get to experience the water park at night. Like, they had lights up everywhere so that, you know, the beaches were lit up and everything like that. So it wasn't like dark. But yeah, it was like the actual slides did not have a lot of lights on them. So you were going and you were going in the dark, and
that'd make it like 12 again.
Seriously, it was so cool. Yeah. It was so cool. I actually did a video of us on Crush and Gusher that I shared, and you can see it's just pitch black in some of the areas, and you're like, I don't know where I'm going. This is kind of terrifying. So yeah,
did you do any of the, because Typhoon Lagoon has those, I think it's Typhoon, it has the storm slides, like the totally enclosed like black tubes.
Yeah,
me out in the day. Like I'm not enclosed slides. Like I kind of get where I can't breathe. Like I'm kind of claustrophobic with those.
I'm kind of claustrophobic too. Yeah, so I did not do those.
Even a worse nightmare. Yeah.
The only ones I did were the ones that I had to ride in a tube. If I'm
Yeah,
going down in just my body, I'm not here for it. So yeah.
yeah, I'm not big on those either. I might do them once, but man, that'd be a nightmare at night.
I'm not here for it. Now Brian did Humunga Cowabunga, which I will not do for various reasons I will not be talking about. But he enjoyed that, which was a lot of fun, and obviously that's one of the body slides. So yeah,
it's kind of like Summit Plummet. I can't remember.
It's a little bit of a lighter version of Summit Plummet. So that was a lot of fun. They offer all you care to eat ice cream and popcorn and bottled beverages.
So dangerous at a water park.
I know, right? Yeah, because isn't there the whole adage of don't go swimming?
Exactly. After you have all that, you're supposed to wait 30 minutes. Mom always told you, like, don't go in the pool. And then you get smoked out by that big tidal wave.
Yeah. Can I just tell you?
There could just be Mickey Bar everywhere. I mean,
the good thing is that there was not Mickey Bar everywhere, and there was not popcorn everywhere. It was very well contained, which was good.
Bad. Yeah, it's got to be getting paid like hazard pay. Come on now.
You weren't bringing the ice cream on the rides. Let's be perfectly honest. So, you'd find a good spot to go sit down and chill and eat your ice cream, and then you'd go on your merry way. But can I just tell you how big kid my husband is? Because he's like, I gotta go out to the wave pool. I gotta experience the wave pool. And I'm like, babe, that's all you have fun.
I mean, it's 100%. I mean,
I was not in for that.
You have not gone to Typhoon Lagoon if you have not gotten bruised by the wave pool. Exactly.
So he went out as far as you could go, basically. And man, when that wave came whooshing up, oh man, he was having.
Here's how it goes. It goes like the horn goes first.
Yes.
And then you hear whoosh. And then everybody screams, ah!
Yes.
Run for your life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So my husband was one of those crazy people out there. And I was like, you enjoy that. I'm going to stand back here where I can get hit by the wave, but not be utterly drenched. And, no, thank you. I'm out for that. So, but yeah, it was a great experience. Couple things. I did think that there would be a little bit more in the way of like lighting and stuff like that. I thought it would be like they'd have a little more like colored lighting around and everything. They didn't really have a lot of that, probably because it would be a little hard to see in the dark, and that makes a little bit more sense. But the main like party atmosphere was really just in that main entry area, and then it didn't really equate to the rest of the park. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that. The one thing that was cool though was that did go around the park is obviously the lazy river, and it was really cool. They had some really neat tubes for the lazy river, so it wasn't just the normal ones, but they had glitter tubes. They had tubes.
Yeah, I love the lazy river is my favorite. I'm 90 years old, like I'm Methuselah at this point, but man, give me a good lazy river.
It was so great. It was so great. Although there were definitely some areas that do drench you, and people were grabbing the tubes and putting them over their heads so they would not get drenched.
Why do they got to do that? Like that was cool when I was 20. Like
What
they hit you with is like ice cold.
It's so cold. Oh my gosh!
Stop your heart with that stuff. Like seriously, you're trying to kill me.
Seriously, it was so freezing. But then they also had inner tubes that were like Disney characters. So Brian got in a Mickey Mouse one. I got in a Dory one. They had ones that were like Kevin from Up. They had ones that were Sully from Monsters Inc. So they had some really, really cool tubes that I was like, these are amazing. So yeah, that was really neat. And then I thought there would be a few more characters. I don't know why there's not that many Toy Story characters in general that meet guests, but I did think that there would be a little bit more. I think I would have enjoyed it more if it was not just a Toy Story themed one, but maybe like a Pixar themed event. I think that would allow them to have a few more characters and have fun with it that way. But otherwise, it was a great experience. We did it. It starts at 8:00. It goes till 11. And you can get in starting at 6. So we did the 6:00 kind of mix in thing, and we just kind of chilled for a little bit. And then once the party started, that's when we really got into it. And, like I said, it was a great experience. We got everything done that we wanted to in that amount of time. And it was just really a lot of fun. Oh, the other thing that I was going to say is I do wish that I feel like in the past, and maybe because they haven't sold a lot of it, but I feel like in the past they've offered more in the way of like specialty dining. they only had like, I think 2 different specialty dining things just for this event. One was a baked potato with
let's go. I love
a
baked
bunch
potato.
of stuff in it. And then the other
they
one,
would give me a cramp. Holy cow.
yeah,
Oh my God.
I was like, that's a weird choice for a water park, but okay. And then the other one was I think it was like a chicken and Mickey waffle kind of situation. Like maybe it was a sandwich, but I really thought there would be a little bit more in the way of food. So there's just a couple of things that I think they've offered in the past. And I think that's why I thought there would be more, because I've been paying attention to this event for years, because I've been planning to go to it for years, and then it hasn't worked out in my schedule. So, I was thinking, and we went to the first one, so I was thinking there would be a little bit more, and I think maybe they've scaled back this year just a little bit, which makes me a little sad, but I still had a great time. We had a great experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat. So, even though it felt a little scaled back to me, I would still do it again in a heartbeat. And I think Brian would agree with me that he would do it again too. So it was
sounds fun. I mean, so is there any merch for that stuff or no?
Oh, I don't think there was any merch.
I doubt it. Maybe not. Cause
the only thing that, I personally wanted that I got was they have a Typhoon Lagoon Miss Tilly sipper. And
they like a sipper, like a popcorn bucket or something.
So they originally introduced the sipper, I think last year during H2O Glow. And then I think they just kept it around. So I was really excited because I saw it on the main menu and I'm like, yes, I'm going to get my sipper. So I did get the sipper. I love it. It's adorable. It's sitting, I can see it right here. It's sitting on my bookshelf. And that was one of the things I had been eyeing it for a year, and I was like, I have to bring that home. So I got the sipper, but it wasn't specifically for the party. It was, it was something that's there all the time now. So that,
And a Typhoon, for people going there, this is for everybody, right? You can get towels there as you go in.
Yes, that's new.
This is the question, is for everybody going to Typhoon. If you're just using your free resort day, not going to a hard ticket event, they will give you towels as you enter the park. You don't have to bring your own.
Correct. That's a new change that I believe happened this summer. Because so many people were going to the water park, with the free resort stay, and so either they were bringing their resort towels, and Disney's like, no, never mind, we don't want that happening, or people just weren't having towels and they have to go buy them. So I bet they got a lot of feedback that they wanted to have the towels be free. They used to cost, I think, like $2 each. So yeah, they're now like handing them out to you as you walk, not like as you walk in, but like as you walk past the first shop. And it's kind of like when you go on Disney Cruise Line, they ask you how many towels you want. You can say you want as many as you humanly care for having. So, we only took like 4 towels, but you could take more if you needed them. So
cool. Yeah. And I know Scott's a huge fan of that too. Like Scott loves H2O Glow Nights. He's done a couple times, and everybody I've talked to enjoys it. Now, again, that's one of those things though, it's super weather dependent, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's even more than like Mickey's Not So Scary or Very Merry, because
absolutely.
I mean, any kind of lightning is going to shut that down. Again, weather is really an impact on this.
And we were very lucky because the night we went, it was perfect weather for H2O Glow. Not a rain cloud in the sky. It was warm, but not too hot. It was great. But I will say, if it had been the couple days after, it would have been a washout, because it was raining and thunderstorming the following 2 days. So yeah, it is very, very weather dependent.
All right. So you mentioned also you're down there, you did Garden Grill for breakfast. So give us a review of that. Cause I haven't been there. I used to go there all the time. I haven't been there in a few years.
So you know what, we talked about on the Wednesday episode about the fact that a lot of times Brian and I don't have dining reservations made ahead of time, and we'll just literally like see what's in the app and go for it. So that morning, or I guess it was the night before, Brian's like, hey, we haven't been to Garden Grill in a while. You want to see if they have any availability? And so I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we ended up getting a Garden Grill reservation. And it was at a really good time. It was at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So, hey, I actually, made it to the park, not at rope drop, but just a little bit after rope drop, because I think our reservation was at like 9:15 or something. And so they do have, so they bring out, remember in the past, they bring out a skillet, and it was the cinnamon roll bake thing, and it was so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, stop. That thing was, hang on.
Yeah. It was so good. So good. Yeah. Yeah. That's the exact.
Sorry,
That's right.
but go ahead.
They don't. It's not exactly the same anymore. They do have a cinnamon roll like bake thing that they do bring out, but it's not nearly as good as it was before. It's yeah, it's delicious. Don't get me wrong. It's cinnamon rolls drizzled with delicious icing, but I felt like it was a little staler than the other one. Like you had to go more for the middle than the outer edges, and I feel like that's kind of once I went into the middle, it was good.
Sometimes when it's a little stale and you go for the middle and then get the little outside and kind of mix it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
that's something about it.
Breakfast did include watermelon this time, so that was good. And then it came with the platter o' meat and
there you go.
Yes, exactly. Deliciousness, meat and deliciousness. So it came with bacon, came with scrambled eggs. It came with an incredibly delicious potato hash brown. It wasn't really hash browns. It was like the cheesy potatoes.
Oh,
yes. Oh, we got second helpings of the cheesy potatoes. Not going to lie. Yeah, that's how you do it. Mickey waffles, of course. You get Mickey waffles. And then they do offer like a steak with it, so it's like sliced steak, but yeah, they still offer steak, so it was quite good.
They had steak.
Yeah, I didn't either until I looked at the menu, and when I made the reservation and it said steak, and I said,
in steakhouse.
Yeah, I know, right? So that was the breakfast options, and then of course it's Garden Grill, so the characters come around and they greet you. You get to meet with Pluto, Mickey, and Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale are my favorites, so I love getting to meet them. And the other really nice part about Garden Grill is it's kind of a smaller restaurant in regards to the fact that the characters will come around usually multiple times during your meal. So you do get to see them a few times, and that part's nice. So they'll kind of play with you at first, and then as the meal goes on, they'll take the traditional pictures at first, like that kind of thing. And then as the meal goes on, they'll play with you and like, maybe try to steal your food. I had Chip and Dale pose for me, give me their glamour shots, that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We had a really good meal there. I highly suggest Garden Grill. I think it's a great way to start your morning. And now that they have steak on the menu, I mean, heck yes, that brings it to a whole nother level. But I'm going to tell you, I would go there for those cheesy potatoes, hands down. Those were so good. Oh my goodness. So
yeah, I need cheesy potatoes for dinner with my taco.
Actually, I have some in the freezer, and I'm making pasta tonight for dinner, so I don't really think those will go with my pasta. But yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
Pam's always like, it doesn't go with, who cares? I don't need rules.
It's true. I'm making pasta and garlic bread for dinner tonight, so I don't really think cheesy potatoes meshes that well.
She like we had the whole family over for Father's Day for her dad on Saturday before Sunday's Father's Day, like because she's like, real Father's Day, we're gonna let you have that, but we're having a whole family for my dad over on Saturday. I'm like, oh, we can do whatever. I don't care what day we do what. And she's like, so we're getting bandanas, which is insane.
Oh,
it's this barbecue place.
I miss bandanas so much
because her dad likes barbecue, right? So I'm like, yes. But I mean, we're getting that for her dad, right? Because it's catering, right? So you can get like this, a few pounds of brisket and turkey and some sides. But she's like, is it super bad if I get the mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A because I have a lot of points? Is that going to be terrible that I don't get the side of mac and cheese from bandanas? Is that going to be terrible that I don't get it all from bandanas? I'm like, no, Pam, nobody cares. And
nobody cares. Nobody will know it's not from bandanas.
Who cares? I'm like, that mac and cheese rocks at Chick-fil-A. Yes. So she's like, but we're mix and matching. I'm like,
that's okay.
Because it's good. Who cares? We're getting mac and cheese and barbecue. Who cares? Nobody's going to care. It's all good.
They don't.
Yeah, she was worried about that breaking like some faux pas rule or something.
Oh my gosh, that's too
We're getting barbecue and mac and cheese. Who cares? And big beans. And and then she's like, but then I'm getting the potato salad from Deerberg's.
Oh,
I'm like, who cares?
You didn't get the bandanas potato salad? That's the best. I miss
because it was cheaper at the grocery store.
Their potato salad is
potato salad at Deerberg's is super good too. So we got, the one side at Chick-fil-A, we got the meat at bandanas, we got the grocery store potato salad, and we did get the bandanas green beans. Those were super good.
Those are good too.
Yeah, but
their
it was
baked beans are good too.
Oh my God.
See, I told you I miss bandanas. That's one of the restaurants that I miss. Like when I go home,
Smell
I have
that.
to eat at Bandanas. I have to eat at Emo's. I have to eat at Pasta House.
Yep.
I have to eat at Lion's Choice. There are specific places I have to go. And now we've turned into a St. Louis podcast
Yes,
again.
yeah.
That's
We're
great, yeah.
just sorry for all of our people that
Yeah.
aren't in St. Louis, but that's right there, all across the street from right my house.
Sorry.
Anyway, so Garden Grill was a hit.
Yes, Garden Grill's a hit. You need to go there again, Mike. I feel like it's.
I do need to get back there. Yeah. So I like it one day, one night at Walt Disney World. We're there before the cruise. We're going to Rosa Mexicana when I'm done. I'm pumped about that because again, new Mexican restaurant at Walt Disney World. Sign me up.
Yes.
And they have tableside guac, which we're
okay, you win.
Yeah. Tableside. The two great words. Tableside guac.
Yes.
So I'm going to jump in real quick and talk about one thing I did that I would recommend for folks, and especially when Pam Forrester's paying for it. We did a fireworks dessert party.
Nice.
Those are awesome.
Which one did you do?
I don't know.
Oh, which park were you at?
Magic Kingdom.
Oh, so you did the Magic Kingdom one. Okay, that's okay, that's good. There you go. Yeah.
I know there's different names.
Yeah, did you do the one where you went out into the Rose Garden or into the hub, or did you do the one where you stayed at the Tomorrowland Terrace?
We went out and we're on the trip.
Okay, then you answered
the fireworks first.
Okay, all right. Then
so that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so we checked in, we got wristbands. We went out into the hub, into the turf, like into the special designated area. And we went out there super early and hung out and got our spots. And just because we were all like, there was like 8 of us, we got hung out and had a good time. I was hanging out with Steve. We were taking pictures, goofing off. We were making all those videos of us looking miserable.
Yes.
That's where we did all that stuff and all the cahoots. And just we were talking all kinds of people. We met some people that were also from Pittsburgh, and Steve was talking about the airports and all this. We're just doing our thing. And then the fireworks happened. Oh, God, man, we're dead on for the cast. I mean, it's the greatest place to watch fireworks. And I love Happily Ever After. So we got to do that. And then afterwards, it was a little bit like, are we going this way? We're going that way. And then somebody held up like a lightsaber. We all followed this cast member and went into the desserts. And of course, these great desserts. There's some drinks, alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. They did have milk.
Hey,
that was a choice, dude.
That would be my choice.
The milk was curdled. I'm just saying, dude. You could have scooped the milk out with a.
No, there's no way.
You could have asked Pam. It was not. I would not have drank that milk. But,
all right. Well, then I might not have drank it either. But
I drink almost a half a gallon of milk a day. I drink a lot of milk.
I drink a lot of milk too.
Dude, I know because you drink it on the cruise, but
I
drink it at home. But I'm just saying. All these other things were like lemonade because like they had like the things like it was like water, lemonade, iced tea, and then milk. Milk was like like back in the day with Sesame Street, like which one does not belong? It was like the milk.
Yeah.
It seemed weird because it was hot.
No, it's fine when it's hot. I'm good with it. But then again, I'm a weirdo. Like we've already established. Yeah. I had 3 glasses of milk at Garden Grill for breakfast. So
okay, but I mean, it was 100 degrees and we're outside. It was just a weird thing, like in Florida.
I'd still do it. But that's
okay. You're the one. Okay,
I'm the one.
You're the one. So, but they had like beers, wines. It wasn't like mixed drinks, but like beers and wines and cocktails, and but then they had all the desserts. I'm just telling you what, I had everything that was chocolate. And everything was so good. The only thing you gotta be careful, man, because like we sat down to have these desserts. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And if you don't have any discipline, I could have eaten probably. I mean, they're small desserts, right? They're like 1 or 2 biters. And that's what gets you in trouble. Because I probably had 9 or 10 of these little 1 or 2 biters at like 10 o'clock at night. But I mean, they're just like so delectable, like eclairs and little brownies and little cupcakes. I mean, but it's like little bites of heaven. They're all so stinking. Little tiramisus and so, they're so good. I mean, it's definitely a splurge, but you sit in that little Tomorrowland terrace area and just kind of mingle with your friends. They're going around and helping you if you need anything. It's a splurge, but it was a good time. I
agree. I think I have not done a dessert party at the Magic Kingdom, but that's the one I think I would do, is the exact version that you did. I think I would do that way because it, when you're surrounded by the sea of humanity on Main Street, I'm just like, I'm out. But with the dessert party, you get, that area that's private and it doesn't have as many people in it. And I don't feel like I'm swimming with the sea of humanity at that point. I'm like, okay, I can breathe. This is good. So yeah,
We just sat around our table for like an hour and just, had a couple drinks. Dude, I only had one plate of desserts because I knew I had like 10 little things, and I could have gone back and had like 30. I mean, I just knew, like, don't do this, Mike, because it
you
is
will regret it.
7 o'clock at night. Like, you do not need to eat that many, but I could have. And they were so good. That's like, you got to tell yourself not to on a cruise. It's like what I was saying.
Agreed.
I was in cruise mode. Like, oh my gosh, I could eat that whole bar.
Agreed.
It's just all there, and they're so good because it's all my favorite stuff. All right, you got like one more thing you want to share, like from your trip, like, because we got like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So we also ate at Liberty Tree Tavern, which I haven't been at in a while. And we were discussing, it's a heavy meal. I mean, it's not
super heavy.
It's not one that you really want to go and when it's 100 degrees out and go walk around the park with. And we kind of lucked out. Again, I told you I kind of don't make reservations anymore for dining. I just kind of see what's available. And this is one that popped up. It was available. And so we decided to go for it. And it ended up being nice because it rained pretty much the whole entire night that we were there. So when we left, instead of walking around the park in the middle of the heat, we just ended up leaving the park because it was pouring and, there was nothing really with the baby and stuff like that. So we were like, you know what, we're just going to call it and we're just going to cut out. So really, in that regard, it was perfect because we didn't feel we definitely felt stuffed, but we didn't feel miserable while we were walking around the park. We just had a nice meal and then we left. So that part was great. But it starts out with a salad, and the salad is so delicious. Oh my gosh, it's got such a great dressing on it.
It's so good.
So I'm not even a salad person, and it was incredible. It also they also have these rolls that come out, and they're coated in butter and deliciousness and garlic. I think there was garlic on top of them, and they're so good. And then of course, again, you get the tray of meats, which is how this should be, right? So it's a smoked turkey, pork roast, or pork loin, and then a pot roast type situation. And then you get every vegetable and side under the sun too. So you get stuffing, which is, my brother was with us, and that is like his favorite thing in the entire world is stuffing. Matter of fact, when he was living with us at one point, I made stuffing and Brian threw it away, and my brother actually cried almost because he's like, that's my favorite thing. So he loves stuffing. Mashed potatoes, green beans, I believe there was mac and cheese. Yes, there was definitely mac and cheese.
There's absolutely mac and cheese there.
Yes.
I mean, think about those three things that can get you in so much trouble, like in the heat in a theme park. Mashed potatoes, stuffing, and mac and cheese, dude. Those three together are like the
carb trifecta.
The trifecta of, you are going to be in so much trouble a half hour after this meal.
Absolutely. So good though. Oh my gosh.
Butter cake or whatever at the end. Holy cow.
Yes, and that's the problem.
Skull and crossbones. See ya.
You get the ooey gooey chocolatey chippy cake thing at the end, and it comes in a skillet, and it comes with ice cream.
I can't go there. I don't have the discipline.
You're just like, oh my goodness, I want to eat this so bad, and I can't because I'm so full from all the other stuff I had. I wish I could just go there and get the ooey gooey, cake and have that be my meal and be like, no.
I walk past there like in Liberty Square, and I'm just like, I look at it and I'm like, I love that place, but it is just death to me. Like, I cannot control myself in there.
It was so good. It was so good. Oh my gosh. So again, highly recommend Liberty Tree Tavern. It was quite delicious, and I do not regret eating there, even though I definitely ate way more than I should have, and I was rolled out of there for sure. So
it's like Adam and Eve walking through the Garden of Eden.
Exactly.
That's the tree of the knowledge or whatever.
Yes. But the good part was that Lucy, it was a good meal for Lucy because she did eat some of the macaroni and cheese. She ate some of the mashed potatoes. Actually, she really liked the mashed potatoes. And so that part was good. And a lot of people don't know, but kids under two and under are they're free not only to get in the park, but they also are free for the buffets and things like that and dining. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to one of those family style meals or buffets. They can basically eat off your plate. So that part's nice.
When does she turn 3?
Not until February. I got a little bit of time.
And she gets a lot more expensive.
She's gonna get a lot more expensive. And trust me, she doesn't eat enough food for me to pay for Liberty Tree Tavern for her by herself.
And it jumps up so much, like in that 1 year. It's like
we will not be going to Liberty Tree Tavern at that point. We will be eating at places that I can pay for a meal for her because
I remember that. It was like sticker shock. I was like, Mallory, how did you become so expensive in 1 year? I'm like, oh man, what?
Yeah, she definitely will be much more expensive. And we've already been discussing this. Like, I will not be buying her an annual pass. We will just buy her like single day or double, 2-day tickets and things like that, because we usually only take her like a day. Brian and I will go down. She'll stay with my mom and dad for a few days, and then we'll bring her down for like a day into the park, so that way she gets some park time too. But mommy and daddy need mommy and daddy time too. So we leave her with grandma and grandpa for, a couple days, and then she'll get to come,
That's
one
so
of the days.
funny because, Mallory's 17, or she'll be 18 in January. And this is, Paige is 28. This cruise that we go on in less than 2 weeks from this weekend, this will be the first time Pam and I have ever gone anywhere by ourselves.
Hey, that's awesome though. That's going to be great. You'll enjoy it. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's really nice just to have that alone time together. So, that part's great.
We've
so
always taken the kids except for our honeymoon.
Yeah, it's just nice to kind of reset and, reestablish like quietness for a few minutes. So that part's nice. So
we don't know what to do. Like,
I know you're not going to have a clue.
Where's Mallory?
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. No, that'll be nice.
That'll be fun. All right. Well, we're going to jump out of here and wish everybody a great weekend. So, go get some good meals.
It sounds like all I did was eat on that trip, which, kind of actually, that's pretty much what I did. So,
our audience, we like talking restaurants.
Exactly. Yeah.
We like to eat. It's fun.
We do.
All right. So, have a good weekend. Don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. And again, don't forget, when you book a trip, you want to book with the best, and the Magic for Less is a platinum earmarked agency. They have been recognized by Disney for not only the amount of trips they book every year, but for the quality that their guests return with the surveys. So when you go over there, check out the testimonials, and just trust that you're going to get great service each and every time with the folks over at the Magic for Less. Again, free, no obligation quotes every time you put in those quote forms, and no cost to you. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Click through there. It supports the show with each purchase. I so much appreciate that. And you can become a patron, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. It's just like a cup of coffee a month. And we appreciate that support. Thanks to everybody who supports us over there already. I cannot thank you enough for that. Again, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media at Be Our Guest Mike. That's where I am. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS, X.com, Threads, and what else do we got? Instagram. That's where we are.
Instagram, yes.
It's like, you gotta remember where we all are in all the different places. That's social media. And don't forget, the live call-in show will be Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. That's in 5 places. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or X.com, Instagram, and that one is on Twitch. So there you go. Those switch up, that 5th location. So join us there. Give us a call. We'll be talking Disney over there. And of course, join us in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It is free for everybody. The conversation goes 24/7. It's like a listener question show on that one thread. If you have a question, you'll get answers, boom, 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 within like 10 minutes. But we talk sports. We talk all the Disney destinations, Cruise Line, Disneyland, Walt Disney World. And we just talk life. So come on over, be a part of the family. beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we're going to cut you loose and wish you a great weekend. So have some fun, but stay safe out there. So for Ricky and Pam and Scott, who's not here, I'm Mike. Wish you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. Good stuff.
It. Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
We'll see you. So you'll be here next Monday?
Yes, because Florence is here. So I know she booked her trip so that she could stay on Monday so that I could podcast. I know she did.
I'll say hi to her when we start.
Yeah. I'll have her come up and say hello.
Cool. All right. Well, I will see you next Monday.
All right.
And
see you next week.
Have a good one. Thanks.
See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.